Hey everybody, New Year's is right around the corner, and I wanted to start by saying, first of all, I hope you had a great Christmas, and second, one of the things that I recognize is that many of us we're zoomed out. We're tired of being in front of screens and not being with real people, and one of our hopes was that we could have done like a real face-to-face event for youth group this December, but we just couldn't do the fun event. So I'm still thinking about New Year's, and I wanted to put something in front of you guys to be thinking about for New Year's. Before we get to that, though, I've got a quick video for you to watch. It's about 3 minutes long. It's a number of highlights of different things that we've been able to do as a youth group in this last year. So check out this quick highlight video. So as you watch that video, what I was hoping was that you were able to see how even during this crazy year that God has worked from last year, almost a year ago, we were at the winter retreat to Reach Out Rochester this summer, to the Reality Apologetics Conference, right? So many other ways that I'm hoping that you could see that God was working. And as I'm thinking about that, it's easy to look back on this last year to think that 2020 that was a bust. It was supposed to be this year of 2020 vision. Remember that a year ago? There was all these slogans about 2020 vision, right? But instead, the pandemic had hit. What I hope that you see, though, is that even though 2020 didn't go the way that we wanted it to, the God was still working. And as we looked at 2021, 2021 still has a ton of unknowns right in front of it. I pray, though, despite that we can see that even then, that God, what he does is he shows up. In Luke chapter 24, two men, they're walking and talking about the resurrection of Jesus and how amazing that it was. And as they talk, there's this third person who, at this point in the story, is unknown to them, and that shows up walking with them. And this third person really is Jesus. And Jesus, as he's unknown to them, he asks them, what are they talking about? And then these two men, they talk about Jesus as if they don't realize that they're standing with Jesus. And they talk about how, what, you've been living under a rock? Like, you have no idea what's going on. I mean, that's how they're kind of talking to Jesus. And as they talk with him, they tell him about the resurrection of Jesus, as if Jesus didn't know this. Then Jesus, still not revealing himself to them, he flips his story on them, and he tells them that these things, that they had to happen. Near the end of the story, these two men, they're so hungry for more truth about Jesus that verse 29 says, "But they urged him strongly, 'Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over.' So he went in to stay with them. And after that, they eat, they pray together, and then amazing things happen. Verse 31, their eyes were opened and they recognized him. And then moments later, Jesus, he disappears from their sight. All of this causes them to recognize how amazing that this moment was. And then they go and they tell others what's happened. You know, as we come to 2021, I think there's some great things for us to be thinking about really quickly. First, sometimes when Jesus is right in front of us, sometimes we don't see how he's working. So here's what I want to do. I want to just encourage you that in the midst of all the stuff that's going on right now, stop, look around, and check out how God is working, because truly he is. Second thing, I pray that even in these unreal times, that we see that even in the midst of all this stuff that is not the way that we wish that it was, that even then, Jesus can teach us. Third thing, I pray that we would want to spend time with Jesus just like these guys did. So consider New Year's. It's right around the corner, right? Finding some new ways to spend time with Jesus regularly. Maybe that's to find a podcast that delivers devotions to you. Maybe that's finding a one-year Bible reading plan or some sort of Bible reading plan. Maybe that means asking me for ideas. I'd love to give you some ideas. Maybe that means asking me for some encouragement, right? Here's the fourth thing that I would say. This is the last thing. I pray that just like these guys, their hearts were blown away by how amazing Jesus is, that they want to go and they want to tell others about who Jesus is. That same thing would happen to us, even now in the midst of a pandemic. So we put together, a couple events, Feed My Starving Children, which has got a bunch of different reasons why, but a part of it is so that we can be used to tell others of who Jesus is. It's a really simple way. So maybe that's something that you consider being a part of this winter. Then the other thing would be, we've put the offer out. If you want to bring a friend to the winter retreat, we'll let your friend go for free. If they don't go to church anywhere, we'll cover the cost. So I just throw those two out in front of you as well as ways that you can try to live out some of what I'm just looking at and sharing from Luke 24. So have a great New Year's, and in a few days, youth group gets to come back together, and I want to just tell you that we're looking forward to seeing you face to face and being together and looking at God's Word and spending time together around it. So have a great New Year's.